Picture this: you're in a meeting, and a colleague just dismisses your work in front of everyone. "This is completely wrong," they say, their voice just dripping with condescension. The room goes quiet. All eyes are on you, waiting for the comeback, the defense, the argument. But instead, you meet their gaze, maybe with a calm, faint smile. You don't say a word. The silence that follows is absolutely deafening. In that quiet moment, their aggressive words are left hanging in the air with nowhere to land. Suddenly, they sound hollow, over the top, even a little desperate. The room's attention shifts from you to them. You might see them start to fidget, their bravado flickering out. In your silence, they're forced to sit with the echo of their own baseless attack. This isn't weakness. It's not being passive. It's a profound display of power, the power to make someone see their own mistake without you uttering a single word. The ancient Stoics were masters of this. They knew that real strength isn't about winning arguments, it's about mastering yourself so completely that someone else's negativity just dissolves against your composure. As the great Stoic emperor Marcus Aurelius wrote, "The best revenge is to be unlike the person who performed the injury." Today, we're not just learning to take criticism. We're learning how to turn that criticism into a mirror, reflecting a person's behavior right back at them using three powerful Stoic pillars: strategic silence, unshakable non-reaction, and absolute inner control. First up, silence. Zeno, the founder of Stoicism, famously said, "We have 2 ears and 1 mouth, so we should listen more than we say." But Stoic silence is more than just keeping quiet. It's an active, strategic choice. In a world full of noise, where everyone's fighting to be heard, choosing silence is a radical act of confidence. It shows you're so secure in your position that you don't need to scramble for words to defend it. Think about the power of a deliberate pause. When someone tries to provoke you, they're looking for an immediate, emotional reaction. They expect you to get angry, defensive, or to back down. When you deny them that and just pause for a few seconds, you break the script they were expecting. This does 2 things. First, it gives you a crucial moment to get a handle on your own impulses, to shift from raw emotion to rational thought. As the philosopher Epictetus advised, you can't let your emotions be hijacked by appearances. Second, that pause creates a vacuum. More often than not, the other person will rush to fill it. They might start backtracking, rephrasing their attack, or accidentally revealing the flaws in their own argument. They end up doing the work for you. Their words, left hanging in the quiet, are suddenly under scrutiny, not by you, but by themselves and everyone else in the room. Epictetus taught his students to be silent for the most part. Say only what is necessary and in few words. This isn't about being antisocial. It's about preserving your energy and making your words count. When you speak rarely but with purpose, what you say carries immense weight. Sometimes, the most powerful move is to just walk away. Walking away from a disrespectful comment isn't an admission of defeat. It's a powerful declaration of self-respect. It's a non-verbal way of saying that their behavior is so far beneath your standards, it doesn't even deserve a response. Your absence becomes a statement that lingers long after you're gone, leaving them alone with their actions, a situation far more uncomfortable than any fight you could have started. This silence is what disarms them and clears the way for their own self-reflection. Now, that powerful silence we just talked about. It gets its unshakable foundation from our second pillar, non-reaction. Here's the thing about manipulators, critics, and bullies: they feed on your emotional response. Your anger is their victory. Your frustration is their fuel. When you refuse to give them that fuel, you starve their aggression of the oxygen it needs to survive. Marcus Aurelius put it perfectly: you have power over your mind, not outside events. Realize this, and you will find strength. The insult itself isn't the problem. It's the power your judgment gives to it. To practice non-reaction is to become an immovable object in someone else's emotional storm. Imagine a critic lashing out, and instead of flinching or fighting back, you meet them with total peace. This isn't about bottling up your feelings. It's about observing them, feeling the sting of an insult, acknowledging it, and then consciously choosing not to let it control your actions. For an aggressor, this is deeply confusing. They swing with anger, and you meet them with calm. They expect you to crumble, but you offer a gentle smile. Your refusal to play their game makes their behavior look exactly what it is: immature and out of control. One of the best forms of non-reaction is simply letting time reveal the truth. Instead of frantically defending yourself against a false accusation, you can quietly step away from the drama. You take all that energy you would have wasted and redirect it inward. Focus on your work, on your growth, on your actions. In the long run, your results will speak for themselves and drown out the noise of any criticism. People who can't be provoked command a special kind of respect. Colleagues and rivals quickly learn that the usual emotional games don't work on you. It forces them to engage on a higher level, the level of logic, reason, and facts. Your non-reaction doesn't just protect your peace of mind, it actively trains people how they are and are not allowed to treat you. As Seneca suggested, a great mind simply despises the injury. The most powerful form of revenge is not even seeing your opponent as worthy of it. You wouldn't get into a kicking match with a mule, you'd just move on. Let's be real, silence and non-reaction are hard. They're nearly impossible without the third and most crucial pillar, inner control. This is the bedrock of Stoic power. It's the internal work that makes the external composure possible. Inner control is built on what Epictetus called the dichotomy of control, one of the most practical ideas in all of philosophy. It's simple: some things are within our control, and some are not. What's in our control? Our judgments, our choices, our actions. What's not? Pretty much everything else, including what other people say, what they think, and what they do. When someone insults you, they're acting from their own place of insecurity, jealousy, or ignorance. That's their problem to solve, not yours. Your only job, as Marcus Aurelius would say, is to make sure your own actions and words are worthy of respect. The rest is noise. Mastering inner control means mastering the pause, that split second between a trigger and your response. In that tiny space, you have a choice. You can choose reason over reaction. You can treat that first flash of anger as a suggestion, not a command. That urge to defend your ego. It's optional. You can just let it pass by. Modern science backs this up. A 2012 study confirmed that when you psychologically distance yourself from a provocation, viewing it like a fly on the wall, it significantly reduces aggressive thoughts and feelings. This is the detachment that allows you to act with purpose, not just passion. When you do this, you build what the Stoics would call an invisible fortress. When you're guided by reason, you become hard to read, difficult to manipulate, and impossible to emotionally hijack. Your self-worth isn't tied to what other people think, so neither their praise nor their criticism can knock you off your path. You get to redirect all the energy you would have wasted on pointless arguments and reinvest it in yourself. And people notice. They can sense when they're around someone who is truly self-possessed. Your calm authority will shape your environment far more powerfully than any angry outburst ever could. So how does this all fit together? These three pillars, silence, non-reaction, and inner control, aren't just separate tactics. They're a single, integrated system. Inner control is the engine. It gives you the discipline for non-reaction. Non-reaction creates the space for strategic silence to work its magic. So, when that colleague criticizes you, your inner control kicks in and reminds you that their opinion is an external event, outside of your control. This allows you to practice non-reaction, holding back the emotional fuel they're looking for. From that place of calm strength, you can then choose strategic silence, a pause, a quiet look, maybe even walking away. This creates a vacuum where their own words expose their mistake. They came looking for a fight, but they found a mirror instead. Now, they're left to wrestle not with you, but with their own reflection. This is the Stoic way. It isn't about winning a verbal sparring match. It's about showing a level of self-mastery that makes the fight completely unnecessary. So here's a challenge for you. For the next week, I want you to practice the art of the pause. In any conversation where you feel challenged, criticized, or provoked, take a deliberate, 3-second pause before you say anything. Just 3 seconds. Notice how it shifts the dynamic. Notice how it puts you back in control. Drop a comment below and let us know how this small change affects your interactions. Ultimately, making someone realize their mistake without a word isn't a mind game or a manipulation tactic. It's the natural result of living with virtue and integrity. It's about embodying such profound self-respect and calm that the foolishness of others becomes obvious in your presence. The goal isn't to make them feel small, it's to create the space for them to grow. By mastering silence, you let them truly hear themselves. By mastering non-reaction, you let them see their own emotional chaos. And by mastering inner control, you become a living example of a better way, a way of reason, resilience, and true peace. The Stoics taught that you can't control the actions of others, but you can always control your own. And in that control lies a quiet, unshakable power. A power that doesn't need to shout to be heard. A power that can change minds, not by arguing, but by showing them a standard of character that speaks for itself. Your peace is your power. Let it speak for you.